Happy New Year, you guys! I hope that you enjoyed any festivities you participated in last night and that you're looking forward to 2014. I just wanted to stop in and give you a wrap up for 2013. I only read 15 books last year and I think I've only done 5 book reviews. So I wanted to stop in and tell you what my best, worst, and most surprising books were. And I also wanted to give you some snippet reviews on the books that I didn't do full-fledged reviews on. And I'll leave the links to the descriptions below so that you can check them out. The best book that I read last year was The Devil All the Time by Donna Ray Pollock. It was by far the best book that I read, and I did a review on it, and I will leave the link to that video in the description bar. My most disappointing or worst book that I read in 2013 was Out of Oz by Gregory Maguire. It's the 4th and final book in the Wicked series. The Wicked series is basically the story of the Wizard of Oz told from the perspective of the Wicked Witch of the West. I loved Wicked, but Out of Oz just didn't do it for me as a closer. I was really excited to read it and was extremely disappointed by it. My surprise book of the year was Gathering Waters by Bernice McFadden. I have a review to that as well, and I will leave a link down below. I didn't initially want to read the book because of what I thought it was going to be, but I'm glad that I gave it a chance and I'm glad that I read it. It was my surprise book of the year for 2013. So now I want to go over the 10 books that I did not get a chance to put a review up for. I'm going to start from the bottom from 2 stars and go to 4 stars. I will have links below to the descriptions on these books so you can take a look at them at your leisure. So let's start with the 2-star books. First one is going to be Out of Oz by Gregory Maguire. I just got finished saying it just didn't do it for me as the closing on the Wicked series, and I was really disappointed by it, so I gave it 2 stars. The second one was The Slinks by Tatiana Tolstaya, and that was the November book for the International Book Reads Club that was started. It was a Russian dystopian novel. The premise I thought was a really good premise. I just didn't like how it was written and the way it ended. So I gave that 2 out of 5 stars. Now on to the 3-star books. The first 3-star book is going to be Joyland by Stephen King. It's a Carney novel with a ghost story attached to it, and I liked it, so I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next one is going to be Zombie by Joyce Carol Oates. It was the first book that I ever read by Joyce Carol Oates, and it was a thriller, which I loved. So I didn't give it 4 stars because, you know, some of the stuff was meh, but I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next book is going to be Who Asked You by Terry McMillan. Terry McMillan is an African-American author, and if you've ever read anything else by her, then this is along the same lines. So I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I also gave The Great Gatsby 3 out of 5 stars. I love the language in this book and the feeling of it. It's my nephew's favorite book, and I can honestly see why that is just from him, knowing him, and the language that's inside of this novel. The next book is Americana by Adichie Chimamanda Ngozi. I hope I'm saying that properly. I gave that book 3 out of 5 stars, written by a Nigerian author and basically about a Nigerian woman who comes from Nigeria over to America. I loved the themes of the perspective that Africans have about African Americans, specifically the differences between our cultures and how no one else really tells the difference. We're black and that's it. And the last and final book that I gave 3 stars was Snow Country by Yasunari Kawabata. That was the December read for the International Book Club, and I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. I love the scenery in this book. It was really easy to envision the landscape in my head, so I like that about it. The storyline was good, and I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. So let's move on to the books that I gave 4 stars to. So there are only 2 books that I didn't review this year that I gave 4 stars. The first one is going to be Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. I was so looking forward to this. It's the sequel to The Shining, and if you haven't heard of The Shining, pick up the book, read the book, and then go pick up the movie and watch the movie. Dr. Sleep is the sequel to The Shining, and it was excellent. I bought it for my birthday as a gift to myself, and I loved it, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And the last and final book is going to be Someone Knows My Name, or The Book of Negroes by Lawrence Hill. It's a historical fiction, and I like this book a lot. It was one of those books, and I've said this before in another video, sometimes when I read fiction, the stories come alive and they feel like a biography or a true story. And although, because this is a historical fiction novel, it felt real to me. But I think the way that the story is told had a lot to do with that as well. So I gave Someone Knows My Name 4 out of 5 stars also. So that's my review of 2013. The year is over and a new year is beginning. I hope you guys are looking forward to 2014, and I will see you in another video. Bye.